if you've been setting goals in your head instead of your heart, or if your expectations keep recreating old patterns, this practice will help you drop into the wisdom of your heart to discover what you're truly being called towards, not what you think you should want. Okay, hey, this is Francisca and this is my Crisis Life, and today is Chrysalis tours, and I'm finally back home in my spot after a really amazing, really long holiday. Really active holiday. I went so many places, and I'm sure I'll talk about all of that on another day. But today we're going to do a little practice that I hope is going to help with the topic this week. So this week I've been talking a lot about expectation. So on Monday I was talking about myself and some other people that I met very briefly, and this kind of pattern that I noticed of how, particularly when something traumatic happens, that it sets like an expectation about what we expect to receive in the future. And that, oftentimes, much like our conscious thoughts are 95%, sorry, only 5% of our thoughts are conscious thoughts, if I could get that thought out. And then 95% of them are actually unconscious. What we consciously think about really actually is just a lot of repetition. So we think today, like 98% of the things, the same thoughts that we had yesterday. And a lot of the time, our expectation about the future is based upon our expectation of the past. So whatever we quantify as being normal for us, as being our homeostasis in terms of what we should expect in life, that's kind of what we expect in the future. And then that's also what we bring in with the energy that we're putting out there. And I was giving a couple of different examples of what that looked like, both in my life and with these other people. And then on Tuesday, on Monday, I was talking a little bit about the difference between expectation and intention, and how expectation, there's a lot more expectation on expectation, right? There's a lot more of the, well, it's going to happen in this time, in this place, in this way, with these people, through these channels. And it's kind of more of a quantifiable risk because we're trying to guess or make an assumption or set an expectation on how things are going to end up. Whereas an intention is more of a, this is how I want to feel in this moment, in this future. And I'm not going to dictate how it happens or where it happens or who it happens with and the exact sequence of events. I just know I want to feel like this. And today I thought it'd be really helpful to do a little practice that looks at how we can put ourselves more into a space of intention and be more purpose driven than be in a place of expectation, being more outcome driven, more action driven. So I think it might be helpful actually today if you grab a pen and a piece of paper or a notepad or your journal, or even, I guess, your phone you could do it on, although I wouldn't say it's probably best to go on technology immediately after you do any kind of somatic practice. But if it's all you got, it's all you got, right? But if you've got pen and paper, get old school. I think it's always best when we're writing our thoughts down to write down with pen and paper because it allows things to flow more freely. Because we're going to ask a couple of questions and it might be helpful to have something close by after we're done so that you can get these things down, so you can get these thoughts down, some of these more like subliminal or subconscious or unconscious or, I don't know, convoluted type of messages, right? They're always easier to get down when they're fresh in your head. They make a lot more sense. So I would say grab that. And then, yeah, I mean, if you want to do this practice, standing up, sitting down, lying down, whatever, on your head, I don't care. Do whatever feels good for you. But definitely find a spot where you're going to be free and you're going to be undisturbed and you're going to feel okay to do whatever it is that you need to do for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. And if you're in that space, I think today, let's start with our eyes closed. So whenever it feels comfortable, go ahead and just allow your eyelids to fall heavy. There's no need to force anything. There's no need to shut them. Just allow them to close down of their own accord. And I invite you now to take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. Allow your shoulders, your body to relax down, and then just let it go. Sigh it out through your mouth, all the way out. Go ahead and take another deep breath in through your nose. Fill up your lungs, your chest, your stomach. Hold it at the top and allow everything to relax down. And then just sigh it all out through your mouth. Empty everything out. And take a final, deep, long, slow breath in through your nose, feeling your body expand. And hold that breath at the top. Allow everything to relax down. And then sigh it all out through your mouth. Just let it all go. And just allow your breath now to turn back to its normal rhythm. In and out through your nose. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. No one to be. Just observe your breath. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your feet and your toes. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your shins and calf. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your knees and the backs of your knees. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your thighs and all the muscles surrounding your thighs. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your sit bones, hips, and everything in and around your pelvis. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your lower back, upper back, chest, stomach, and obliques. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your shoulder blades, shoulders, arms, hands and fingers. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on the back of your neck, your throat, and all the muscles surrounding your throat. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on the back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead, eyes, mouth, tongue, and jaw. And as you breathe out, allow them to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your mind, that busy monkey brain, on all those thoughts of what came before and what will come next, of the past you can't change, and the future you can't imagine. And as you breathe out, allow this to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on your third eye, that space in between your brows, that window to your wisdom, that cord to your higher self. And as you breathe out, allow this to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And as you breathe in, I invite you to place your attention on the top of your head and the space 6 inches above the top of your head, to the unseeable world around us, the connection to Source, and to all those in service of you and all of us. And as you breathe out, allow this to fall into a state of complete and total rest and relaxation. And now I invite you to place your attention on your heart space. That area spanning across the surface of your chest, radiating from the middle of your chest. It may help to begin to imagine a golden light emanating from this area. It may help to bring to mind someone or something you have great love for. Maybe a child, maybe a parent, maybe a partner, maybe a pet. See them there in front of you and feel your heart space expand. Hold on to that feeling. Let it permeate your whole body. The space outside of your body. And now with that feeling, I invite you to imagine standing in space with your eyes closed. Feel the love. Feel the joyful anticipation. Feel the peace, the security, the excitement of this space. And in your mind's eye, imagine yourself opening now your eyes to this space. Look around. What do you see? This is your intention manifest, personified, realized all around you. Where you would love to be, what you would love to do, who you would love to become. Your love has transported you here. Notice now as things begin to become clearer to you. What do you notice? What do you sense? How do you feel? And now, from this space of loving intent, I invite you to ask, what path do I take to get here? What signs do I look for on this path? What me am I becoming along the way? And now give thanks for this space, for this wisdom, for all that you are becoming with this intention. And when you're ready, I invite you to just begin to notice the space around you, the sounds, the smells, the feel of the room around you. Notice the air on your skin, the feel of the body on the surface beneath you. And I invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring a little movement to the body. Maybe stretch. Feel your whole self in your own body. And when you're ready, whenever feels comfortable, you can go ahead and open your eyes. Okay, hey, how was that? One of the things I was thinking a lot about when I wrote this practice was how so much of intention comes from the heart. How so much of expectation is about what we should do, who we should be, where we should be going. Even if we dress it up as something that we want, because just because we should do something doesn't mean that we also can't simultaneously want it, right? But there's so many expectations on an expectation, right? So many expectations that we place on ourselves.
on how things should turn out and what that means in terms of who we are. And intention is just so much more about really what your heart wants. It's so connected to your intuition. And we've learned so much as a society to let our head rule over our heart, when actually our heart should be the one that's making the decisions and our head should be the one that's strategizing how we make that work. So yeah, I hope that allowed you to connect a little more with what your heart is calling out for. I'd be interested to know what wisdom you got. What did you see there? What was that place like? Was it what you expected it to be? Did it feel like home? Did it feel like purpose while you were there? And be interested to know who it is that your intention is telling you that you are becoming along the way, and whether that feels more authentic than who we think that we should become in order to achieve the goals and the outcomes of our expectations. Yeah. And if you enjoyed it and you want more wisdom and you want to do it again. Why not, right? I think that's it. Just come back tomorrow for Reflection Friday. We're going to be drawing everything together, sitting in community, because, you're not alone. You're not alone out there. There's others. All right, cool. That's it.
That space you visited today, your heart already knows the way there. Drop a comment about what you saw in your intention space, what guidance you received, or what you discovered you're becoming along the way. Tomorrow's Reflection Friday brings us together to integrate this week's journey from expectation to intention.